In the clear blue waters of the Caribbean, a silent predator stalks the reefs. At first glance, it's mesmerizing, a creature draped in crimson and ivory stripes, crowned with a halo of spines. But behind this elegance lies a ruthless hunter. The lionfish does not belong here. Yet, in just a few decades, it has spread across thousands of miles, consuming everything in its path. Entire fish populations have vanished, corals are suffocating, and local communities are feeling the impact. No natural predators, no seasonal limits, and an appetite that never stops. This is a biological invasion unlike anything the Atlantic has seen before. From a single mistake to an ecological crisis, this is the story of how one beautiful stranger became the ocean's most feared invader. The lionfish's journey begins far from these tropical waters, in the warm, vibrant seas of the Indo-Pacific. Here, it evolved over millions of years, perfectly balanced within its native ecosystem. Predators kept its numbers in check, prey had evolved defenses. The ocean, in this part of the world, had learned to live with the lionfish. But thousands of miles away, in the United States, the lionfish had a very different role, an exotic prize in home aquariums. Its graceful movements and exotic colors aided a favorite among collectors. And yet, beauty has a way of slipping beyond the glass. In the late 1980s, somewhere along Florida's coastline, lionfish were released into the wild. No one knows for certain whether it was an accident or an intentional act. Freed from their tanks, the fish entered an ocean with no natural predators, a climate they could thrive in, and an endless supply of food. From these first escapees, a silent invasion began. Ocean currents carried their larvae north along the U.S. East Coast, south into the Caribbean, and deep into the Gulf of Mexico. By the time scientists realized what was happening, it was already too late. The lionfish had found its new home, and it was here to stay. To understand why the lionfish is so successful, we must look closer, beyond the beauty, to the remarkable biology that fuels its dominance. Its most striking feature, the spines, 18 venomous spines, each lined with sharp, rigid rays. They are not used to hunt, but to defend. Any predator foolish enough to attack is met with a painful, potentially paralyzing sting. In the Indo-Pacific, this kept the lionfish safe. In the Atlantic, it made the fish untouchable. The lionfish is also a master of stealth. It's why fan-like fins allow it to glide almost motionless through the water, herding smaller fish into a corner before striking with lightning speed, swallowing prey whole in less than a second. And then there's its extraordinary adaptability. The lionfish can thrive in warm shallows, rocky outcrops, mangroves, even at depths over 300 meters where sunlight never reaches. It tolerates changes in salinity, meaning it can move into brackish estuaries, expanding its range even further. But its most dangerous advantage, reproduction. A single female can release between 25,000 and 30,000 eggs every 4 days, year-round. That's more than 2 million eggs in a single year. These eggs are buoyant, drifting with the currents, far beyond the range of their parents, seeding new invasions with every tide. In nature, survival is about balance. In the Atlantic, the lionfish isn't just surviving, it's thriving, unchecked, unstoppable, and rewriting the rules of the reef. In the Atlantic, the arrival of the lionfish has triggered a chain reaction, one that is transforming entire reef systems. Reefs are like cities under the sea, built on delicate networks of species that depend on one another. The lionfish is dismantling that network, one meal at a time. It feeds on more than 70 species of fish and invertebrates, many of them juvenile fish critical to the reef survival, like parrotfish and wrasse. Parrotfish, in particular, play a vital role. They graze on algae that, if left unchecked, can smother coral. But with fewer parrotfish, algae spreads, corals weaken, and the entire reef begins to collapse. This isn't just about losing beauty, it's about losing the foundation of life in tropical seas. Studies in the Bahamas have shown that in just 2 years, lionfish can reduce native reef fish populations by up to 90%. Where once there was a bustling metropolis of marine life, there is now silence and emptiness. And the damage doesn't stop at the reef. The loss of fish reverberates through the food chain. Larger predators, groupers, snappers, sharks, find fewer meals. Fisheries that coastal communities depend on begin to suffer. The collapse of biodiversity undermines the reef's ability to withstand other threats, from climate change to pollution. A healthy reef can recover from storms or bleaching events, or reef stripped of its fish cannot. The lionfish isn't just a new predator, it's a stress multiplier, making every other environmental challenge even worse. This is the hidden cost of an invasion. Not just what the predator consumes, but the stability it erodes, leaving entire ecosystems vulnerable to collapse. The invasion of the lionfish is not just an environmental story, it's an economic one. Across the Caribbean and along the U.S. coast, entire livelihoods are tied to the health of the reef. And when the reef suffers, people suffer too. Commercial and artisanal fisheries depend on healthy populations of grouper, snapper, and other reef fish. As the lionfish devours juvenile fish, stocks dwindle, catches grow smaller, incomes shrink, and communities that have fished these waters for generations face an uncertain future. Tourism, too, feels the sting. Divers come from around the world to witness the vibrant biodiversity of the Caribbean. But a reef stripped of life is far less appealing. Coral covered in algae, fewer fish to see, these are not the images that attract visitors. Coastal economies that rely on dive tourism, snorkeling tour, and marine recreation are already counting the cost. Then there's the public health risk. Lionfish spines contain venom that can cause intense pain, swelling, and, in rare cases, severe allergic reactions. For fishermen, accidental stings mean lost workdays and costly medical care. In remote communities, treatment may be hours away. For governments and conservation groups, the challenge is twofold: protecting ecosystems while also safeguarding the livelihoods that depend on them. The financial cost of combating the invasion, from public awareness campaigns to organized removal efforts, continues to grow, with no clear end in sight. In many ways, the lionfish crisis is a stark reminder: in our globalized world, an environmental problem can quickly become an economic one, and the people living closest to the water are often the first to feel the impact. Faced with an invader that has no natural predators in the Atlantic, humans have had to step into the role of top predator, and the battle is being fought on multiple fronts. One of the most direct methods is removal diving. Specially trained divers, often volunteers, hunt lionfish with spears or nets, targeting them on reefs and rocky outcrops. In some regions, organized lionfish derbies bring together entire communities for a day of competitive hunting, removing thousands of fish in just hours. But hunting alone cannot stop the spread. That's why there's a growing movement to turn the lionfish from pest into product. In restaurants from Florida to Belize, chefs are promoting lionfish as a sustainable seafood choice. Its firm, white flesh rivals snapper in flavor, and every lionfish on the plate is one less in the ocean. Community-based programs have also emerged. Local fishers are trained to catch lionfish safely, learning how to handle their venomous spines and process the meat for sale. This creates new sources of income while reducing pressure on other overfished species. Technology, too, is joining the fight. Underwater robots and remotely operated vehicles are being tested to capture lionfish in deeper waters where divers cannot go. Some researchers are even exploring the possibility of targeted traps that can attract lionfish without harming native fish. And yet, the challenge remains immense. The lionfish's ability to reproduce quickly means that even aggressive removal efforts must be constant and widespread to have an impact. But every fish caught, every meal served, and every community engaged brings hope, and shows that while we may never fully eliminate the invader, we can fight to protect what's left of the reef. To fight against the lionfish is not limited to divers, fishermen, or local communities. Around the world, scientists are working to understand this invader and to find smarter ways to control it. Marine biologists are studying the lionfish's genetics to trace its spread and understand its adaptability. By mapping its DNA, researchers can learn whether certain populations are more aggressive, reproduce faster, or tolerate colder waters, knowledge that can help predict future expansion. Ecologists are running controlled experiments on reefs, testing how different removal strategies affect recovery. Some reefs respond quickly after lionfish numbers drop, while others take years to bounce back, revealing that timing and consistency are critical. International collaboration is essential. The lionfish problem doesn't respect political borders. Larvae drift freely across oceans. That's why scientists from the US, the Bahamas, Mexico, and beyond are sharing data, coordinating removal events, and aligning public education campaigns. Together, they're building a network of defense across the Atlantic and Caribbean. New innovations are emerging from this cooperation, from breeding natural predators like certain groupers in protected environments to developing deep-sea traps guided by AI. These efforts are fueled by a shared urgency to stop the spread before the lionfish reaches new frontiers. Because in the fight against an invasive species, knowledge is power, and the only way to win is to think, act, and adapt faster than the invader itself. If the lionfish continues its advance unchecked, the future of the Atlantic's coral reefs and the communities that depend on them will be profoundly altered. Within decades, the vibrant, living cities beneath the waves could be reduced to ghost towns. Reef fish diversity would continue to plummet, algae would overgrow the corals, and entire ecosystems would shift into lifeless rubble. The loss would not be limited to beauty. It would mean the collapse of natural coastal defenses that protect shorelines from storms. Economically, declining fisheries would push small-scale fishers out of business. Tourism, a lifeline for many island nations, could falter as divers and snorkelers look elsewhere. The cultural ties to the sea, passed down for generations, could weaken as livelihoods are forced to change. And the spread might not stop with the tropics. Climate change is already warming waters further north and south. Warmer currents could allow lionfish to expand into temperate regions, threatening new ecosystems that have never encountered this predator before. For scientists, fishers, and conservationists, this is more than a warning. It's a call to act now. The longer the invasion continues, the more costly and complex it will be to reverse its damage. The choice is clear: confront the problem today, or watch the ocean we know slip away, one reef at a time.